Hello. How are we all doing? Friday night, 7 o'clock on the nail, and hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a good week. We had a very busy one, didn't we, Jilly? Starting on, blimey, was it? Hold on a minute. It wasn't. It was Saturday, wasn't it? And Sunday. Last Saturday and Sunday. And yeah. There was nothing before that in terms of, yeah, anyway, I'm just trying to think because it's very difficult, obviously, to remember everything that we've done in 1 week. But one little thing that did come up that we put a video up for, if you remember, regarding the windscreen wiper incident. Well, not incident, but discussion. And it was a case of me mentioning during the previous day's show where I was at the paddock about the windscreen wipers and how sometimes they're delayed or in different modes and all that sort of thing. You might they're sort of like doing all of that, and it's I've always sort of like I'm sure somebody told me once a long time ago that apparently the whoever's flying the aircraft in the rain, the flying pilot will always obviously have the wipers going, fast, depending on the conditions, obviously. But if there's no other wiper going, that indicates that that's the side that the who's flying it. So it'll be on the left or on the right, our left, their right, that kind of thing. But there were a couple of some guy disagreed with me, told me I was talking absolute baldy dash, and that went on for quite a while. And bless him for emailing. He did email, didn't he, Jilly? He did, and thank you, sir. Really appreciate the fact that you did. 26,000 hours on the 777, hasn't he? 12,000 hours on the 777. And there's me going, no, mate, no, look, Anyway, it was a joke. But I sort of like, I jumped on it. But anyway, so during the course of that day, that just carried on going. And obviously I wouldn't go into every aircraft and catch the wipers going because, it was a sort of like a personal thing, but I didn't want to sort of like bore you with it, if you know what I mean. But the next day, the very next day, it actually happened with the in the winds and with rain as well on this 777. We haven't heard anything from British Airways. We haven't heard anything from any of the BA crew that we talked to. I'm guessing what they generally tend to do in these instances is they remain relatively tight-lipped and don't say anything. Just let the thing just move off and get overloaded by something else. But let's play it out. So what I do is this. Okay, right. Okay. Okay, so this is it, folks. Now, what you'll see at the very first part is because the one that Jilly tweeted almost immediately in order to just get it out there, a bit like we did with the Dreamliner, didn't we? We did that with the Dreamliner. The lead up to the go around. Before that, it was one of those aircraft that I had noticed because of the head-on shot that we get for 27 right arrivals at the purple parking position. You can clearly see the windscreen wipers doing this, and you can clearly see who's flying the aircraft generally, and this was basically the proven point. So for those people who wonder why I shout very loud windscreen wipers, is because I was finishing my sentence and I kind of had to finish it, but it got very exciting. So let's just check this out. Hold on a minute. tiny little play button. Pull that back there. See here, see the windscreen wiper going there? You can clearly see our right, his left, that's the left-hand seat, that's the captain bringing it in, just to make you absolutely sure. Watch for the windscreen wipers, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. Oh, okay. Oh. It's very small, it's older a minute. Let me just increase the size of this screen here, because it's my... There we go, that's a bit better. There we go, right, okay, here we go. Full length, it's only a short video. Yeah. There it is. Non-flying pilot looking at the instrument. Here we go. Can I just say I rest my case on that one now? Did you see the single windscreen wiper? I gotta say, man, it is quite funny. But look at that for a go around, man. I mean, really, you know, I mean, all joking aside, that was pretty intense, man. I can't play it at slow speed. Come on now. Did you see this? What do you mean I can? How? Ooh, it's not. No, I'd have to increase the screen size. But look at this, and look at the elevators, folks. Look at the elevators at the back of the plane, the horizontal section of the plane at the back. You'll see the elevators come up, and that's why I kind of thought that it was an oscillation that was increased, potentially increased by the hard up elevators. And if he had kept doing that, there's a possibility the aircraft would have started oscillating like that. So you look as he makes the adjustments from adjusting for wind. But watch this. Did you see the single windscreen wiper? Yes, I did see the single windscreen wiper. There it is. Anyway. We stop sharing, don't we? And we leave it at that. And then we come out of that and go back to that. So that was the sort of like what happened in the week. Of course, so that would have been Saturday and Sunday were the storm shows, and boy oh boy, I think we hit, was it 1 million views, Jilly, by Sunday night or something like that over the 2 days, which was pretty amazing. Obviously, all the news channels doing the usual, getting hold of Jilly and asking if they can use the footage. They know quite well, perfectly well. And thank you to everybody who obviously writes into us and says, "Oh no, they've used your footage. I hope they paid you for it." We don't get paid for any footage that anybody uses, folks. It's all free of charge. And generally, what happens is that the news channels tend to leave our logo in there as well. We had one from ITN this week, which they're going to use in a documentary. Now, whether that keeps it retains the logo, is highly unlikely. I would have thought, because it messes with the rest of the footage. But they will credit us in the title role at the end of the credits roll. So what have we got? Scrollers. This week's scrollers. Oh, let's just start off, because I know that we've been talking about this. New camera, by the way, folks, for the channel, which we did our research and found this DJI camera, which is just fantastic, amazing little thing, and that's what we take around with us now when we're out and about in the van, along with the Yolo box as well, which is sort of yay big, sits in nicely into a bum baggy type waistband carrier thing, but it works perfectly. So really happy with that. So that's what we're going to be continuing doing, and this is what you're seeing on X tonight. That's why we brought it over to this channel as well, because you've got to be a little bit careful with copyright and all that. So you know, we want to do it the right way. We want to give people the love. You know, if we're playing their videos out, we want to give them a full credit, who it is, and as much information as we possibly can. And obviously, don't blatantly use it on our channel to just play out. So anyway. We're going to play a couple of videos in a minute, but I just wanted to grab this model. So model of the week, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? Right, okay. Okay, there we go. Anybody notice anything interesting about that? Let's do it around the other way, because obviously, yeah. Okay, it's a little bit bright, isn't it? For God's sake. Turn that flipping thing off. There we go. It's better. So there we go. Let me just kind of go like that and give you that profile there. And let's just have a little look. Test bed, Brian Stewart. Jeff Rogers is a new member. The Jerry ARD challenge. Yeah, something we definitely need to do. Rolls-Royce JB Scooter. Yeah, the number 2 engine, as you can see there. All the rest of them are RB211s by the looks of it. So still quite late on in development. You know, their earlier testbed jets had the Pratt and Whitneys on them. But this is the RB211 converted testbed, which all of the stuff that goes on inside here is just a banks and banks of computers and nodes that are collecting data and all that kind of stuff from the systems. But basically, when they develop a new engine, they obviously have to test it almost to destruction on the testbed, and that is to check it for, because the FAA certification has to come with bird strikes, very cold weather, water ingestion, ice ingestion. And when we're talking about bird strikes, we're talking about, like, you know, small ones, the big ones. And we'll play a little bit of that out in a little bit. But what's interesting with this is the Trent 1000 test bed. And look at that. Isn't that crazy? We'll see some evidence of that, but the last part of the deal is for certification is putting it on an aeroplane and obviously testing it, and then obviously coming to the stage where it's certified as well. I think that's the case. There may be that they have to actually, for instance, it was developed initially for the Dreamliner, so it may be that well, it is the Dreamliner only anyway. Yeah, but it may be that in order to fully certify it, they had to put 2 engines on. They had to put them on on a Dreamliner, and then the whole thing had to be certified as one. But in terms of development, engine development, the test bed is to bring the engine up to full working order and ready for the customer. And that's what Rolls-Royce have done. And of course, all the other test beds are done in much the same way. Now I have got, it's quite simple. I'll just Google some, that's not very strong, is it? I can Google, right, okay, let's just Google this. Rolls, did I not have that? Share price 571. It's insane. 747 Trent 1000 test. Oh no, I know where it is. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. That is a 200. That is a 200 scale. Let me just come in here and go into YouTube, and then we will search Control V, Rolls-Royce Trent 1000. Flying Rolls-Royce 747 testbed, that's 15 minutes. That's a little bit too long. Let's just have a look at that one there. What's this here? Let's that. 6 minutes This is 41 seconds. Yeah, you know what? It's quite interesting, isn't it? There's not a tremendous amount. There's the okay, CTI fan blade flies for the first time. The Ultra fan. Yeah, that's one you've got to see, folks, because that is absolutely crazy in terms of its. This is 24 seconds. Boneyard edition, rare Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 testbed in the boneyard. Wow, how crazy is that? I thought I had a load of. Let me just have a look here. 29 seconds. Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 test 747 at Tucson International. Let's bring that one up. Oh, okay, it's not brilliant, but let's just have a little look here and see what that looks like. By the way, this is, let me just say who it's by. It's by Sherrard 190, Rolls-Royce test their Trent 1000 787 engine under a 747. It's the left inboard engine. So this is obviously filmed from a plane. Somebody, wow, imagine pulling up to the runway and seeing this thing coming in. That's pretty crazy. Here we go. Hold on. Trust me, it will work. It will work. Wow. Look at that, man. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Wow. Look at that. Imagine they were really excited. Listen.
What the hell?
Nice. Let's just have a look and see what else we've got, because I mean, this is 6 minutes. We can jump through it, can't we? This is by BlueRockerPR. Oh, it's a PR agency. That might not work, GP. I don't like the idea of doing that. Is it? Yeah? No? BlueRockerPR. Let's just have a little look here. 63,000 subscribers. Okay, I think I'm gonna. Yeah, we can. Yeah, let's run the link for this one. BlueRockerPR, and this is worthy, I think, of showing. Let's go full screen on that. 6 minutes, but we'll just get on with it. Yeah. Oh. What? Sorry, man. I just hit the flipping thing, didn't I? Oh, man. Where's the full size? I hit the mouse. Sorry, mouse. As well. Look at the HF aerials, man. So this is an old. Let's just have a look here. Yeah, this is an old 200, I think, but she's been fitted with the RB211s. In fact, I think that the RB211s did go on the 200, or was it? It was only the 100 that had the Pratt and Whitney. Look at that, man! Isn't that? Oh, we're going to see her go out. Oh, nice. Sorry, folks. Wow. Here she goes. Oh. No, she's lining up. So that is this model, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. The Paul would have been commissioned to build that model. Probably, I'd imagine, for either a PR agency or for Rolls-Royce themselves. Look at the size of that engine. Now you can, as she turns, you can kind of see through the engine as well, which just goes to show how the core of the engine is more or less the same size as the other engines. But what they've done is they put these massive fan blades on it, which means they have to put a huge, great set of cowls on it. Now, of course, the big thing that they have to worry about is twist. They would have had to have massively strengthened the engine hanger, the pylon, what the engine basically hangs off. Oh, look at that fighter! Look at the fighter, F-16. Sorry. Yeah, liking that. Oh, where's this? Tucson, wasn't it? Flicker forward a little bit. Oh, sorry. F-16s are lining up. Oh man, look at the graveyard. Wow. So is this Rolls-Royce's oh, you can hear the F-16s all lining up, man. Wow, look at it. Oh no, hold on a minute. Is that a graveyard or is that? Yeah, Rohit, you're absolutely right. Of course, the Trent 1000 versus the RB211, even though the RB211 was a high bypass ratio turbofan, as you can see from the Trent 1000, that's a massively high bypass ratio. So in other words, we're talking about compared to the RB211. Let's just have a look at this. Hold on a minute. RB211 bypass ratio compared to Trent 1000. Go. The Trent 1000 has a higher bypass ratio than the RB211. Yeah, Trent 1000, a ratio of over 10 to 1, and the RB211 of around about 4 to 1, something like that. Crazy, isn't it? How they've, but the crazy thing is that all they've really done, I mean, obviously they've redeveloped the whole core of the engine and built it using more up-to-date materials and electronics and all that kind of stuff, management unit, engine management systems, everything to do with the engine has been modified, obviously. But the biggest change, obviously, are those huge fan blades at the front end. Now, here's an interesting thing. So let's just watch that play out. Okay, there's a little bit more. Oh, she's coming in. Nice. So now this is going to be interesting because they're obviously going to use the reversers on the other engines, otherwise the thing would pull to the left massively. But even with the other engines operating reverse thrust, will that still pull it slightly to the left? Uh-huh. They're going all brakes. Wow, that's smooth, man. Wow. 0 reversers then. Okay, this must have been a very early test, I'm thinking. Wow, that's pretty cool, man. So we'll stop that one, but here's an interesting one that you might want to see. Where are my downloads, Jilly? Okay, videos. Popular, oldest, latest. Where are they then? Oh, here we are. No, not that. No, popular video. No, I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any download. Oh, here we go. Wait a minute. Shorts, home, subscriptions, downloads. Flipping heck. Why is it all the way down there? This is interesting. A load of Concorde stuff there. I must be on the wrong channel. Hold on a minute. Let me just. No, I'm on the computer, but I'm just going to go on here quickly and see about. Here's my. Oh, here we are. Yeah. So they're all on here on my phone.
It's not going to make device specific.
Oh, okay. Let me just. I'm just gonna. Hold on a minute. Yeah.
If you watch them on your phone, it's going to be in history. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not download.
Let me just see what happens here. Okay, here we go. So this is we'll go on with the no. I've got to do this in the right order, Jelly Man, because otherwise I'll just keep flying off all in different directions and stuff. Where are the downloads, man? View all. God's sake! Right. Okay. Here we go. Oh. Okay. I want to find the. Well, it's not going to be. Oh, or is it? Hold on a minute. Oh, yes, there is quite a lot of funny stuff here, man, that I want everybody to see. No. Oh, here it is. Right. Okay. I'm going to have to come out of that and going to go 3-engined. Yeah. I know, man. I know. I'll do this properly next time. Stand by. So we have just seen an example of a 747 with RB211s on it and a Trent 1000. So the move from RB211 to a higher bypass ratio, the Trent family, because obviously Rolls-Royce, the RB211, all the engines previous to the Trent, even though it is the name of a river, isn't it? All the other ones that previously were names of rivers, I believe, in the United Kingdom. Now, there must have been a River Conway then. Maybe. Have a look. So this, folks, is like, we're talking about preceding this before the 747 test bed. We had of course, that's Rolls-Royce. This is Rolls-Royce. It is River Conway, yeah. So this is the VC10, folks. A beautiful VC10. There's going to be a lot of people out there who are going to be like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Absolutely beautiful gem of an aeroplane. Look, 4 engines, and at the time was like massively pitched as the most comfortable and quietest aircraft out there, especially if you were sitting at the front. If you were sitting back here, it might be a different story. I don't think they interviewed anyone from the back. They only interviewed people right up the front who were very, very posh and they had lots of money and drinking out of like China teacups and stuff like that. But anyway, the Conway engine, four of them. Okay, so this is very early stuff, this, folks. We're talking about 60s, that sort of time, that sort of era, maybe even late 50s. The VC-10, an amazing aircraft, highly advanced, beautiful aircraft for its time. That beautiful big T-tail on it, man. So obviously this section here is an adjustable, trimmable horizontal stabilizer here, the elevators here. They beautifully made this model beautifully. Even got the light on the back of the fin there. But anyway, when Rolls-Royce were developing the RB211 engine, which is the one that you've just seen on there, what they did was, and this is not far from here that they did this, and the airfield is still there, or parts of it. The old runway is still there. I think they're going to be putting houses in there eventually or something like that. But anyway, this was they used the VC-10 platform as a test bed for the RB211. They bolted an RB211 to this side with the pylon on it and everything. Absolutely insane. I'm going to show you in a second. But the interesting story, and I learned this from Mark at ARD, was that when they inspected the aircraft after having flown however many hours or whatever it was, it turns out, or whether it happened the first time, I don't know, but it turns out that they bent the frame of the aircraft. So they bent it round like that. It literally, actually, it would have been that way, wouldn't it? They literally, it bent the whole frame of the aircraft so that they couldn't use it. They had to scrap the aircraft. So, and obviously, what would have they then used? Interesting. Whether they used another one and modified the attachment and strengthened it massively, I don't know. But here is a video, three-engine VC10 testing the Rolls-Royce RB211 Cold War Jets. Put this up a couple of months ago, actually. Now, I'm imagining that a lot of these videos that we play out, folks, are not the original. That they're not owned by the people that we're playing it out on their channel. But we have to still give them credit because it's on their channel. If we were to, listen to that. That's a 380, isn't it? That's a 380. So yeah, in terms of copyright and all that kind of stuff, it's always very difficult to sort of like trace it via a paper trail all the way back to the original, because obviously this isn't his or their video. But what is interesting is that and a lot of people know who I'm talking about here. Raymond Baxter, folks, if you remember way back in the old days, he was on Tomorrow's World, but he always did because the BBC or whoever it was, I'm sure it was the BBC, used to do the air shows like Farnborough or that kind of thing. And he has got a very calming voice. He's actually an ex-Spitfire pilot from the Second World War, flew in combat, I believe. But this is from ColdWarJets. VC10 has two of its Rolls-Royce Conway engines swapped to test a single RB211 engine that later powered. Oh yeah, what am I talking about? Yeah, the TriStar. It was developed for the TriStar, the RB211, but also went on to power the 747 as well. Yeah, I'm getting myself mixed up with that Trent 1000 and of course this went on to. So this was under development for the TriStar, which was exclusively, unlike the DC-10, the TriStar was exclusively equipped with the RB211 engine, which I'm guessing in the early days probably caused them a few problems. Get myself a little bit of a car park down there. But let's play this one out. Raymond Baxter. This is only how long is it? Man, this is 30 seconds, folks. So it's a quick one, but they've obviously used looks like an RAF. Looks like an RAF aircraft. But you can tell me. I had a teacher that spoke like Raymond, always fell asleep in his class. Yes, you'll understand this. This is about as exciting as Raymond Baxter ever gets, by the way, folks. Share screen. 3-engine VC10. We're ready to roll. Here we go.
There it is, the three-shaft advanced technology turbofan developing 40,600 pounds of static thrust with a development capacity going up to 55,000 pounds. On order for the Lockheed TriStar flight engines for the first prototype are now being podded at Shorts. The installation on the VC-10 flying testbed there has been specially arranged to reproduce.
Wow, how about that, folks? How cool was that? And he's talking about the spool as well. I think he said hold on. Yeah, 3 shafted. So the spool is the shaft, basically, I believe, but a 3 spools. So so different segments of the engine being responsible for certain parts of the engine moving, if you see what I mean. So 3 spools, I believe that's right. Yes, it was an engine test bed. Let's just have a little look here. So that was that one. That's funny because I looked at that Rolls-Royce Begins F130 dual pod engine test for the B52. Let's just play this one out because it looks like a VC10 setup. That's why it caught my eye when I was looking at when I was watching it through. Rolls-Royce F130. Oh, all right, mate. So it's interesting in terms of engine development and technology that they throughout the ages they've used different aircraft. Well, their own. You know, if it's a Rolls-Royce exclusive Rolls-Royce powered aircraft like the VC10, then Rolls-Royce will obviously take one of their own aircraft and use it as a test bed, as they did with the 747 and the RB211 to the Trent 1000. Interesting that the RB211, as he was saying there, was developed initially for the TriStar. However, there was a chance meeting when the Queen was out in New York or something like that. She had one of the Rolls-Royce advisors with her, or one of the directors or something like that. And it just so happened that Boeing were also there when the Queen was there, obviously trying to sell their wares and so on and so forth. Or but interestingly, the two guys got together. And he said, well, we're having real problems with the Pratt and Whitney engine at the moment, got massive overheating problems. And the guy from Rolls-Royce turned around and said, I think I might have something you might like to be interested in. And they obviously offered the RB211 as an option. Because obviously the TriStar was already flying at that stage. But it was actually... Got to find this out. It's in here. Let's just have a quick look because I like to get my dates right and all that sort of thing. Stand by history. Okay, Convoy Coronado, VC10 1964, 64 727 with Delta Eastern Airlines. 737 work starts with Sutter and Steiner in around about 1964. 65 prototype construction begins on Concorde. 67 A300, 707, 737 in 1968. 1970, 747 with Pan Am with the Pratt and Whitney JT9D, then saved by the Rolls-Royce RB211. DC-10, interesting, very interesting. So 1970, the 747 came out. 1972, the TriStar was launched with Eastern Airlines. So in that case, the 747 would have had to have flown for 2 years. So somewhere between 1970 and 1972 or thereabouts, because obviously by the looks of that video, the development stages for the RB211 were already in being done by Rolls-Royce. I don't know if that was exclusively done, put together for specifically for an aircraft type, i.e. the TriStar, because the TriStar initially was the exclusive aircraft to be powered by the RB211. But I believe that later on as well, the A300 was also an aircraft that was later the first wide-body twin-engine jet. But anyway, am I digressing here? I don't know. Let's just go back to there. So I'm kind of like we've got all that kind of in the system. Also, what we need to consider is let's just have a look here. Pratt and Whitney PurePower PW11. So here's an interesting one. 747 SP And this is quite a long time ago as well, folks. Let's just put this in here. Hold on a minute. Forget about that one. Whitney. PurePower. That was what the test bed was called, PurePower. So here we go. Let's just have a look here. PW1100G. Let's take that up to the end there. Wait a minute. Sorry, folks. I'm going to get these loaded up next week, Jilly. Yeah. PurePower PW1100G. Okay, let's just have a look. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Right. 2 minutes 31. Pratt and Whitney PurePower. And this is from Pratt and Whitney, ladies and gentlemen. The Pratt and Whitney PurePower PW1100G. I don't know if our man Afterburner is in the house tonight, but there's a guy who works with Pratt and Whitney and has been in all test scenarios with the 1100G, along with other engines as well, including the F-150. I think it is the F-15 engine, I think. Or is it the Eurofighter? I don't know. Answers on a postcard. But this is quite cool. Again, it's another example. Interestingly enough, what is on this test bed is a 747 SP. So very, very old aeroplane. And this was 11 years ago, folks. So 11 years ago, we obviously only started 8 years ago, didn't we, Jilly? And when we started, the Neo wasn't out. No. So the engine was still in its sort of like late stages of in the late stages of testing / certification. And this is an example of and this is crazy, the size of this engine compared to the RB211, because the RB211 is quite a big engine intake, but the Pratt and Whitney JT 90s, 80s. I know we've talked about this the other day, and it was, I think it was it might have even been I think 3Ds were on the 737s, or were they on the DC8s? I don't know. But anyway, let's play this one by Pratt. And it's breaking news from Pratt and Whitney. PurePower PW1100G engine successfully completed its first flight on May the 15th. Launching the engine family's flight test program. Wow. The 1100G engine for the Airbus A380 Neo aircraft flew on Pratt & Whitney's Boeing 747 SP flying testbed at the company's Mirabel Aerospace Center in Quebec, Canada. So there we go. By Pratt & Whitney, folks. So a big shout out to them. We'd always love to do some stuff with those guys. But it's all about, you know, the fact that we're live and all that kind of thing. It's always very difficult. So I'm going to press play there.
Once again, engine maker Pratt & Whitney has launched a new engine into the sky. The PurePower.
Sorry, let me just rewind there a little bit, folks. I'm thinking of the GE9X versus the other engines that are on the General Electric 747 testbed, which is just insane. We will look at that in a little bit. But look at this. These are Pratt & Whitney engines on here. Okay, these are big. These are big. These are big. But look how the engine for a twin engine jet is bigger than those engines. Look at that. Isn't that incredible, man? I mean, that's what you see on a Neo these days, folks. What?
Engine into the sky. The PurePower PW1100GJM completed its first flight May 15th, starting a fresh round of flight tests for the engine destined to power the Airbus A380 Neo aircraft. This is the fourth engine in the PurePower program to take off in 5 years. Engines in the PurePower family are slated to fly 5 next.
I've got to be honest with you, folks. all the engine, and I know I'm people from the UK might be like, how dare you do this? But as far as I'm concerned, the Pratt and Whitney emblem is the best out of all of them. I do love the Rolls-Royce one, don't get me wrong, but and GE's is okay, but Pratt and Whitney with the eagle and all that kind of thing, I love it.
Next-generation aircraft platforms,
God damn it.
with entry into service beginning next year. By 2018, PurePower engines will be powering hundreds of airplanes. The PW1100GJM flew on board Pratt and Whitney's 747 SP flying testbed at the company's Aerospace Center in Mirabel, Canada.
The flight went awesome. The engine performed as expected, and it came home safe.
Every time you see a first flight, your heart sort of wells up and you have a lot of pride and joy that the engine that you've been working and putting so much time and effort into turned over, went well, and is up in the sky where it belongs.
It is another milestone for the revolutionary new engine design that promises to increase durability, reduce emissions, lower noise, and deliver a double-digit fuel burn reduction. Before being mounted on board the flying testbed, the engine had already completed more than 365 hours of ground performance and operability testing in warmer climates at Pratt and Whitney's Florida test facility. The 30,000-pound test engine is scheduled to fly in Canada for 90 to 100 hours.
We expect the engine to be up here for about 10 weeks for the program.
Engine certification for the PW1100GJM is planned for third quarter of 2014, with entry into service on the A320neo planned for the fourth quarter of 2015.
Having a new engine is always really exciting. Having it be Airbus's engine is just a plus.
However, unfortunately, I don't know whether, well, I don't actually, you see, this is interesting. At that stage of the game, when the likes of Boeing saw all of that, when Boeing saw all of that, they were like, what is, they already sort of like knew about the A320, and they've been kind of living with it for quite some time, hadn't they, Boeing? They were riding off of the 737s successful for many years, best-selling aircraft in the world, I think, at that stage, and had been up till literally recently, a few years ago, where the A320 has now obviously overtaken them. Well, not obviously, but they have. What's interesting is that at that stage, I think that Boeing may have been getting a little bit like, ooh, blimey, what's going on here? What's this new engine being developed by Pratt and Whitney? What A320neo? What's that? What does that mean? They would have got their insiders. There's someone in France, in there, like Jean-Claude or something like that, who's an American, and they probably got him in there, and he's saying, yeah, there's a new engine option. They're planning to change the aircraft, not massively, put a new wing on it, make it longer range, make it more efficient, and they're like, really? Yeah, we've only got the 737 with a CFM on it. It's like old technology, isn't it? Look at that bloody thing. It's like, seriously, a good engine. What sort of numbers are we talking? Well, I don't know, about 20%, 30%. Really? What, better than the CFM? It's like, yeah. It's like, well, we better do something about it then, hadn't we? And that was the beginning of the 737 MAX. And the rest is history. So that's pretty cool. So I like to show stuff like that. I'm just going to show this one quickly. That I came across. Oh, for God's sake. Not in. Okay, just going to. Okay, so this is some fella obviously in America. It's got a little bit of relevance, but it's a bit of fun as well, because we all like a bit of fun here on Big Jet TV, especially on Extra. Who has been to a radio control convention air show where they have had jet-powered aircraft? If you've never seen them, there are some pretty impressive things out there. Large-scale 380s that would fill this room, folks. 4 full-on jet-powered engines with a big old everything going on here. But this fella, this mad professor, look at him right at the end. He's built a jet-powered blower, and it's from TerraHoldingco. Made a turbine-powered blower, mainly to de-ice aircraft wings from frost. Yeah, I think you're going to do a little bit more damage there. But it can be powered up significantly to blow sidewalk, snow, melt and dry ice on sidewalks. Mate, I don't think he sold many of these. Wait a minute. I don't think he sold many of these somehow. Good invention. I'm surprised he went to all of that trouble of actually building it before, you know, at some point during it, he's like, it's a bit wild, isn't it, really? But, you know, when you consider, and what is amazing is that what he's got on the end, at the end, yeah, because he's blowing it. So he's using an engine which normally would be pointing that way, but he's using the exhaust of a jet engine from a radio-controlled aeroplane, folks. This is pretty impressive, I have to say, but mad. Totally mad. What's that on his back? That's his feet. Look at this guy.
All right, auto sequence start.
Check.
There we go.
Throttle.
Preheat mode. Just a couple seconds. Starter engage.
Nice.
Ignition.
Look at the little throttle.
Acceleration mode.
Now it's going to ignite.
You see a little flame.
And I'm mad. It's bad, man. It gets bad. I wouldn't have even bothered having a go, mate. Are you watching it, Jilly? You come near my plane with that thing, mate.
All right, that's idle.
All right, John. Yep. That's idle. Here we go. Go on, son. Look at the fellow turning up like, what the hell's going on here? Go on, mate. I mean, really? Can you imagine all the passengers? What the hell? Wouldn't be good if it was wet or icy, would it? It'd be like straight off down the road. Oh, well, anyway, there we go. You're all right there, son? Turn it off. Yes, sort the garden out and everything in it. That went in my garden, all the turf would go up, everything, the shed, the cat, the tree. But absolutely brilliant, man, brilliant. Great hair blower, Gareth Knight. Brilliant. Yeah, very funny. Bird strike test. Now, I don't know as this one. Let me just see in here. This is quite interesting. Bird strike test. Let's go with a big engine. Oh no, hold on a minute. Let's go with a GE90 test bed aircraft. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. No, we don't want that. Oh. You what? What's wrong with me at? Oh, you're joking, aren't you? Okay. GE9X engine soars. Okay. We're not going to talk. Well, we will talk. We could talk about the Rolls-Royce Ultrafan, and we will do. But the GE9X, let's just give that a little bit of love, because even though it's not flying yet, it has been tested on the 747 test bed, which I think, what engines are those? These will obviously be General Electric CF6 engines, and they're big engines, folks. We see them on, well, you've seen them on the DC-10s, you've seen them on the A330s, on the 747s, but this is a really impressively bigger engine, the 9X. It's the biggest. Let me just have a quick look here. Oh, no, not there, not there, not there. What are you doing? What are you doing? GE9X engine specs. GE9X 1 fan 3-stage low pressure turbine. No, 110,000 pounds of thrust. Insane, mate. Ceramic matrix composites, increasing fuel efficiency, a 10% increase in fuel efficiency from the GE90, which is pretty impressive, it has to be said. Rated at 110,000 pounds of thrust. The 115, there's obviously the 115. Let me just see specifications. Rotor is a dual axial flow high bypass turbofan, single annular twin annulus pre-mixing swirler for the combustor. That's inside the combustor. Lots of stuff. We talked about FADEC before. 1 fan, 3-stage low pressure, 11-stage high pressure. Wow, that's insane, man. The high pressure is at the back, which is 11 stages. Flipping heck, that's a lot, isn't it? Anyone can confirm that, because that is a lot for a high pressure turbine. Compressor. Sorry, the turbine is 2-stage high pressure, 6-stage low pressure. There we go. So the compressor is that bit in the middle, the compressing of the air. Fan, 3.4 meters. 3.4 meters in total from tip to tip. That's just tip to tip, folks. Now, the outside, the cowling of an engine is usually about, I'd say, probably about that thick, maybe. I don't know, maybe a bit bigger. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if our man is on here, but it would be great to get some information on that. But trust me, when you go and look at the look at that, you can see right the way through it. Blimey, how cool is that, man? That just goes to show the quality of the engine. Look at the other one. See, you can hardly see through it, but this one you can see right the way through it. And there you can see the core of the engine and see how big the fan blades are. But look how thick the cowlings are. And obviously within those cowlings, it's not just alloy. It houses all sorts of acoustic lining, Kevlar lining. It needs to be able to withstand the impact of a blade off, where the blade literally comes off, and you imagine the centrifugal forces going through that when those blades are being spun around, the centrifugal forces going through that thing. When they come out, the engine lining has to be able to withstand that, to stave the blade from coming out and puncturing the aircraft, etc., etc. So all those things have to be taken into consideration. But this is just one thing on the GE9X. We've seen obviously the Rolls-Royce Trent 1000. We've seen that RB211 development. But have a look at this. This is pretty amazing. Wait a minute. Look at that, man. Oh my God. That is actually almost ridiculous. That's insane, man. I mean, that's a CF6 engine, the other ones. But look at the sheer size of that thing, man. Isn't it insane? It just doesn't look right. I mean, if Jilly was like, you know, I've drawn this, I'd be like, mate, you can't do that. You're gonna have to. It's just out of proportion, isn't it? You know. I mean, you know.
November 747 Golf Fox is ready for takeoff, and this is the first flight of the GE9X. Victor Hotel, Roger, runway 35, wind is calm, for takeoff.
Oh, look at that position. Oh, no. Oh, what did you do? Sorry.
Takeoff.
Look at it. Oh, man. Isn't that insane, mate? So that must be... That is a 300, isn't it? That's a 300 without the winglets, before the winglets. But yeah, it does look like it's been bitten by something or stung, isn't it? That's insane. Absolutely incredible. Now, you know what? They have got other ones here. But here's some really interesting stuff about testing. Wow, look, G90 engine celebrates 25 years. Okay, so this is an interesting one. This is the 1 minute and 4 by GE Aerospace again. That music will probably get copyright on, Jilly. But this is the GE90. Eh? And all that. But what? Okay.
As we turn our attention to the 1990s, we begin another decade with another industry first. I would like to formally announce the GE aircraft engine is actively engaged in offering a new engine, the
look at that. The
GE90.
For the 777. How old is this? First carbon composite blade, man.
By blending our long-term vision and your input, GE has brought an engine to the long-range twin market that is without equal, the GE90.
Wow.
So runway 30, wind calm, clear for takeoff. Godspeed.
Yeah, launch customer. Oh. Just do this. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. That was interesting. Did the kit tilt? That went up real quick, didn't it? But what is interesting about the GE90, BA being
0, wind calm, clear for takeoff.
Godspeed. The GE90 actually had really big problems in the early days, and that's another time when Rolls-Royce came to the rescue with the Trent 800. So that's twice that Rolls-Royce have come to the rescue of General Electric, because they had to sort all the issues out. That's why you see a mix of 777, BA 777-200s specifically, with GE90 and the Rolls-Royce Trent 800 engine, because they had the initial teething problems with the aircraft. So British Airways decided, you know what, you sort your problems out, but we're just going to take aircraft with the Rolls-Royce engine on it for now, and then once you've done all of that, we'll obviously, because I think they went 200s then 300s, but that's kind of what they're doing now with Rolls-Royce. they're going to General Electric for the for the GE NX on the next round of Dreamliner orders that they're taking. They've dumped Rolls-Royce, folks. Can you believe that? British Airways flag carrier. Sorry, mate. Yeah, no, we can't do it, man. You've got to sort your problems out, and then we'll have a chat when you've done it, when you've got all your issues sorted out, which will probably be by the end of 2026, I'd imagine. But yeah, very. Oh. 25th anniversary of the. Surely that was 25 years of GE, and that was the. Oh right, here we go. GE 90115B gas turbine jet engine testing and evaluation. Here we go, folks. This is a good one. This is from. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll carry on with GE Aerospace because they're so cool. This one is 1 minute and 23 seconds long. I think you're going to like this one, folks.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale.
Oh my goodness. 168 hours. That is incredible. All the ice build up. Incredible, man. Wow. Certification. There you go. That's what it's all about. I think the guys at GE were way ahead of Boeing in terms of the engine certification, weren't they? I seem to think. I think Boeing have just had issues with the aircraft in terms of the certification itself. But I think the engines have, apart from the pylon mounts, of course, which haven't heard anything about that. What is the latest on that, folks? Anyone got any information on about that? We're talking about the pylon mounts on the 777 with the GE9X engine, the 777-9, that is, because they had thrust link mount problems with it, with the huge great thrust links that they attach, and there's two of them on each engine. So these things twist basically when the whole thing's under power. So and one of them failed. Well, actually, a few of them failed. And when we talk about failed, we talk about completely separated and snapped. Bird strike engine test. This is kteevids. This guy has had. He's got no. So this is a blade off. No, it's a bird strike. So they obviously, like I said, right at the front of the show, when they're testing an engine, they have to test it for ice, water, bird strike, and blade off. So we'll just go through this first bird strike one first. Go to that one. Go to that one. Go there like that, and then go. Can I just say that they will be literally throwing or shooting carcasses, bird carcasses, frozen chickens, I think they use. Bird blade off rather than a bird strike. Ah, man, that's not a bird strike. That's a flipping blade off. That's a full-on blade off. And you know what? Why I thought that was because you can see the marked fan blade, which is the one that is exploded. Watch this. Crazy. Wow. Absolutely wrecked that engine. And that's what you have to do, folks. Oh man, that's a shame, isn't it? That's a shame. Let's just see if we can let's find another one. Let's do this blade destruction test jet engine. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So there's that. Okay, so Bill D put the same video up, but he calls it a blade off test. There we go. Turbine engine blade fail test. Aircraft engine blade failure test. Adobe tutorials. This one's 2 minutes, 56 seconds, which is pretty cool. Let's just see how this one goes out because this looks like this one might be. Okay, here we go. So this is aircraft engine blade failure test by Adobe tutorials. No description, 40 subscribers. So it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Because it's a great video. So let's go up to share screen and put that on full page.
A rare but violent event that must not put lives in danger.
Oh, it's from Discovery.
At the root of the colored blade is an explosive charge. With the engine at full power, it will be detonated, releasing the blade with astonishing force. Whatever happens, the blade must not be allowed to burst out of the engine, where, in real life, it could do serious damage to the rest of the aircraft. In a room 200 yards away, watching via a video link, are 25 key personnel.
This is the one where they're all sitting there, all like having a chat, and then it goes off, and they go, "Hey, what's that all about?" Honestly, watch this one.
The test goes as planned.
I don't think they were.
In the split second the blade is released, the engine must successfully contain an enormous amount of energy.
It is a very violent test. This thing is spinning around. It's at full power, so you've got the forces on the blade are quite significant. It's like having a locomotive hanging on that blade. So you're actually having to contain the energy of that system. So there's a lot of energy involved.
Can I just say that one of the very important parts of that entire design is the attachment where the blade slides on to the connector, the hub assembly. You see the rotor hub assembly. It's full of all these what they call Christmas tree joints where they slide the blade on. They are literally, you can slide them on and then they just got locks on them. That's how easy it is to install fan blades. But the very impressively the connection is what takes all the forces.
In the design and containment of the blade.
As the critical test for the Airbus A380's engine gets underway, it's run for 5 minutes at low power, so final checks can be made.
900, man.
The main concern is that as the blade is blown free...
Oh, sorry. I just want to say that all engines have to go through this. So they have to build engines to be destroyed. Literally, you ain't going to rebuild this one. Harry,
the casing around the fan absorbs the huge impact and prevents potentially lethal shrapnel from escaping.
Now this is interesting, where you will see the whole
high-speed film cameras are used to analyze the action.
The forces here, folks.
And at last, the throttles are opened and the engine brought to its full, awesome power.
simulating a takeoff
This is
run.
what it feels like to be inside a building 200 yards away from a £9 million blade-off event. Blade-off testing is normally top secret, but for the first time, Rolls-Royce have released this footage. Although the engine was totally destroyed, the fan case did its job, and no large lumps of metal were ejected.
Wow, look at that. Look at that. That's so, look at this. Look at that. Yeah. How impressive is that, mate? Sorry. Yes, sorry. That was really impressive, man. Let's all copyrights belong to their respective owners. Sonny Bomb, RandoWis. This test is performed on turbofan. Let's have a look at another one. This is 2 minutes and 15 by RandoWis. RandoWis. And he's got 234 subscribers. God bless him. He's had 616,000 views. It's 17 years ago. He's mentioning he's doing the right thing here, isn't he, Jilly? All copyrights belong to their respective owners, spelled T-H-E-R-E. Sonic Bomb. This test is performed on turbofan engines used on airliners. They take a blade and plant a small explosive charge in it. Okay, here we go.
A small explosive charge is used to release a fan blade from the disc. The engine has to contain the fan blade safely and also has to contend successfully with the resulting out-of-balance forces.
Wow, look at that. That ripped the hell out of that test bed, man.
A released fan blade contains enough energy to throw a medium-sized car some 100 feet into the air. In a full engine test, this energy is absorbed as vibration through the engine carcass. Truly one of the most impressive sights in aero engine testing.
Too right, mate. And don't forget, folks, it's what happened on the Pratt 380. Wow. Still ingesting air. That thing's been shut down, man. And don't forget, folks, that happened on the Qantas A380. So, and it ejected some debris, and I think that was through the because the core cowl. I think in fact, didn't the whole front end blow off of the Qantas 380? I'm sure the engine, the whole fan blade assembly, just literally took off. They were so lucky, man. Because imagine if that thing had a spun and like shot through the wing. Oh my God. Let me just have a look here. That's fan blade destruction. Right. Fan ice test on jet engine. So this is the ice ingestion. Oh God, it's that bloke again with his flipping gardening thing. Jet engine ice ingestion, Rolls-Royce engine water ingestion. So this is water. Folks, you know, sometimes when we're flying, we have no idea of what the temperatures are like outside. If you've got high cloud, you've got a good chance of flying through some serious ice. And this is FAA. The FAA is researching ways to better understand how ice crystals in flight affect aircraft engines. Oh, that's quite interesting. But we'll run with this one first because this is. Oh no, that's 8 minutes 45. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do this one here. Rolls-Royce. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So this is by David Chung. He's got 158 subscribers. Rolls-Royce engine water ingestion test The test is used to test the engine limitations in heavy rain conditions. So thank you, David. We'll just present this one. So you again, you can fly through some cloud formations that are millions of tons of water. We've discussed this on the show before, where you look at some clouds and they look all so tiny and puffy and all that sort of thing, but they got like 10 million tons of water in them or something crazy, crazy numbers like that. The weight. Let me just have a look here. Average weight of a cloud. Okay, the average cumulus cloud weighs about 1.1 million pounds or 500,000 kilos. Wow, the equivalent weight of 100 elephants or 5 adult blue whales. Okay, it doesn't sound so much then when you talk about clouds are able to float in the sky because they use cumulative clouds. But anyway, yeah, so very, very lots and lots of water. So the engines, through their testing procedures and their certification, have to have certification for water ingestion. So we'll run this one, which is going to be full screen there. Do that. There we go. Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. I thought it was something a little bit more involved than that, but whatever. Let's just have a look here. Ice crystal jet engine icing. Theory of ice crystal engine icing. NASA's identifying the causes and solutions for ice crystal engine icing. We kind of know how it works. What's going on here? Okay. It's a little bit silly, that. CFM 56 sucking all in its path. GEnx weatherproof aircraft engine testing. Oh, here we go. Bird strike. This is from itsetsin. General Electric's test jet engines. Among the many tests, General Electric tests jet engines. You got your S in the wrong place, mate. General Electric tests jet engines. Among the many tests, it shoots birds into the jet engine fan blades. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So this is from itsetsin. Bird strike jet engine. General Electric's. I'm not going to read that again because I can't read it. On the day I flew a Cessna 152. Blimey. Surprised you can't write. But anyway, there we go. So let's do that and that and that and that and that and that.
Before the engine could be certified for flight, it had to be put through a battery of demanding tests.
The testing is to assure that the engine can fly in any environment safely. We look at any extreme environments and make the testing more severe than what you'll see in operation on an aircraft. We have water ingestion testing. We take in about 4.5 tons of water a minute and show that the engine can continue to operate and not stall, taking in that kind of volume of water. We also do hail ingestion testing. We have several little cannons that shoot hail into the engine. They shoot about 3/4 of a ton of hail in 30 seconds.
Wow.
Nothing was left to chance. Technicians tried to recreate and analyze every possible problem that could happen to the engine.
An engine, when it's operating on an aircraft, takes in a lot of air. It can also take in anything else in the environment, such as a bird. So we're required per the FAA to shoot bird carcasses into the engine and to show that we can continue to sustain operation even after.
Can you see there, folks? Just so I can show you there. Can you see where the blade literally slides onto the hub assembly? Interesting.
Taking in the bird carcasses.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay then. Fair enough. By then, yeah, quite interesting that. But that kind of goes to show the level of testing that goes into. Let's just see if there's any other cool ones just before we. I'll have a little look at that. See what. Oh. Okay. Let's hold on. Let's just... Oh my good God. Okay. This is 8 minutes, folks, but come on then. Bird strike test, how aircraft engines are tested. She throws the chicken inside turbojet engine. Who's she? Mia Cruz has put this one up with 93,000 views. Tour of super advanced Boeing and Airbus. Hey? I think you got the wrong one there, love. Let's just share it anyway. Might get a bit of interesting stuff here, but I think this is from one of the channels again, one of those documentary channels. So let's.
Shocking. Believe it or not, what you just saw was a chicken being thrown inside.
Hold on.
Believe it or not.
Oh, mate, really? You are talking absolute crap. That's a blade off with a bird superimposed there. Can you see that, Jilly? It's terrible, mate. Wow. And listen to what he says.
Or not. What you just saw was a chicken being thrown inside an aircraft.
It wasn't even a chicken, mate. It was a bleeding it was a pigeon, for crying out loud.
Believe it or not.
That was a bleeding pigeon, mate.
What you just saw was a chicken being thrown inside an aircraft engine. This shocking video shows one of the many tests aircraft engines must undergo before they're used on an aircraft. Well, throwing chicken inside an engine might sound shocking. Wait until you see what 900...
Mate, you can sod off. Honestly, you can sod off, mate. You obviously don't know sod all about planes. You're just reading a script that some other idiot's given you. And, yeah, that's the end of that. Bit of a shame because the footage was good, but you're talking absolute bollocks. Excuse me. Jet engine test in the Canadian winter. Oh, my goodness me. Jilly, have a look at this. Look what I've just come up against. Isn't that funny? Watch this. Oh, my goodness me. And we're going back there, Jilly, in a short while, in maybe a couple of months or something or whatever. Watch, watch, watch. Yeah. Oh, there she is. Music. Look, look, look. YouTube. We can't get copyright to go on this because it is our music that we use on the video. Oh, look at this. Remember this? They all get involved here, don't they? Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Someone else is using it. Look at this. That was absolutely brilliant. Isn't that funny that that came up? So we have kind of, and that is searching ice test on jet engines. Isn't that funny? So obviously our blah blah is working there, isn't it? Airbus A380 Tailstrike velocity minimum unstick test. Yeah, this is up. This is pretty nuts. This one. We're going to digress a little bit here, folks. We're going to shift away from the engine development and testing. I think we've done enough there. Have we done enough there? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people been talking about it. More chicken videos, please. Airbus A380 Tailstrike velocity minimum unstick test. Now, this is really, really interesting because this is, wow. So they take off with the boards up, blimey. So this is really interesting. Airbus A380 flight test for type certification. The VMU, velocity minimum unstick test. Rejected water takeoff. Let's just have a little look through it. Yeah, this is quite interesting, folks, because, you know, in order to certify an aircraft, you have to put it through every single conceivable scenario that you can possibly think of. Waterlogged runway. See how efficient the brakes are with a waterlogged runway. Braking test with a maximum velocity V1. V1 where they're about to depart and they have an RTO, they have a huge long runway, and also not just that, but also when I talk about unstick, it's like how slow they can go and rotate at the same time. It's I'm sure I'm getting it all the wrong way round in terms of like the way it's actually written in the scripts. But let's watch this one because I think this one's this is from MZO 29.3 subscribers, 29,000 that is. Airbus A380 flight test for type certification. VMU, rejected takeoff test, water injection, flutter test, which is the wings when they're flying to make sure that the wings don't flutter, see if they need to modify the wings ever so slightly. And that's something that really, you know, you can do as much as you can in the wind tunnel or with on computer. But the real life scenario is when you sort of like get to see what the wing performs like, and that's why they have to take her up in the air to test for those flutter tests, cold weather tests, hot weather test, evacuation test. 90 seconds. I think it was even less than 90 seconds that they got a fully laden 380, got all the passengers off. You're not certifying this airplane if you can't get the passengers off in the allotted time that the FAA and the CAA give out. And that's why Boeing dumped the idea of the double-decker originally, which was the original 747. That's why they dumped the idea of it, because they couldn't evacuate the people quick enough. Apparently, this is what I hear. Let's go full screen on this. Go to that, go to that. So that's the VMU, I believe. So basically, that aircraft is what is the slowest speed that they can take off at? Nuts. Here we go. Watch this. Oh. Fast one. You don't get that. I've flown on many 380s and you don't get that flutter. Cold weather. Remember when they sent the 777-9 up for cold weather test? Look at that, man. You what? Yeah. Look at that. $873 people in 78 seconds, mate. Unbelievable, man. There you go. There you go. See the guppy. See the guppy there. Yeah, pretty crazy, man. The those tests that they have to perform on aircraft for certification, and that's why, you know, it's normally around about 10 years from ground up. You know, from a drawing on the back of a serviette, literally, and right up to the actual flight, through the flight testing and so on and so forth. And that's why some airframers like Airbus and Boeing have cut corners, which is quite clever. In, for instance, what they've done with Airbus and the A330, where they've taken a very stable and liked aircraft, not as a cargo jet, but as a passenger jet, and they've neoized it, where they've put a new wing and a new engine on the aircraft, and improved its efficiency and offered it as another option from the A350. So, you know, and what Boeing did have done with the 777-9 by stretching it, literally injecting it with steroids. As far as I'm concerned, based on all the numbers and the figures that I've seen for the 777, it's fatter, it's longer, it's got bigger engines, it's got a carbon wing. It's a new aeroplane, really, isn't it? Let's face it. It is a new aeroplane. So really, at the moment, they're kind of going through the rigors of a certification for a new aeroplane, really. Especially when you consider the size of the engines, and like I was saying earlier on, with the components that hold the engines onto the wings are not strong enough for those engines, which is crazy. So, you know, all of those sorts of things need to be looked at when certifying an aircraft. I think I've covered it. But I'm just going to quickly go through my swipes this week in terms of news. Up to 8 hours and 5 minutes. Etihad Airways 9 Airbus A321 LR routes. So already Etihad using the A321 XLR, they'll take the delivery of the first 321 XLR next year, with the variant expected to enter service in August. And they eventually aim to have 30 to 40 long range A321 Neos, which is up to 40 LRs are expected. 9 routes, but it is incredible, what we were talking about earlier on this week, about the extra distance that the 321 XLR can fly compared to the 737 MAX 9, I think. Well, the MAX 8 at the moment, because I don't know what the MAX 9's capabilities are in terms of its long range forecasts. I'm not sure, but what Airbus have done very cleverly is increase the range by adding fuel tanks along the side of the fuselage inside, and in order to make it still able to carry the same amount of freight and other stuff, they've made the fuel tanks relatively thin, but made them all the way, or at least part of the way along the fuselage, added inside the fuselage, which is pretty incredible. We've got Iceland Air with their A321 long ranges. First 17 routes to see Iceland Air's A321 XLRs. Well, they're LRs, aren't they? Let's just have a look. Iceland Air made history December 3rd when it welcomed its first A321 XLR. Let's just have a look here. Let's put some pictures up here for you. Iceland Air A321 LR. Go to images. Go to that. Yeah, it looks pretty smart, man. Oh wow, look at that! Look at that. There's quite a few. There's quite a few of them there, actually. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just share that whole screen, shall I? I think that's probably worth it, isn't it? But look at that! Look at that one at Toulouse, obviously. Well, not at Toulouse. Sorry, actually, it might be at Toulouse, but it's more than likely at Hamburg. Is it Hamburg? The 321? I think so. But all looking pretty nice there, it has to be said. The 321s with what looks like Pratt and Whitney engines, nice layout inside. Of course, these are going to be replacing the 757s, which is a great shame for us. We're not all that happy about it, to be honest with you, but because we see enough A321 Neos as it is. But you know, it is what it is. Time goes on, and but the great news is that the 757. Let's just have a look here. Is still being kept at this stage, and there is my favourite right there, which they haven't got any of ARD, have they, Jilly? They've got this one, but they haven't got my my favourite, which is this one here. Yeah, yeah. Such a popular aircraft. Loads of people love that 757. Let's just have a look at this. So that's that, the good old days. Aircraft landing, oscillation. We've seen that. Let's just have a little look here. If there is anything on that, because I tell you what we were talking about earlier on, aircraft oscillation, OSC, isn't it? Let's just have a look. See, aircraft oscillation there. Okay. What's that? They did they had them about three months ago. Dutch roll. No, we don't need any of that. Pilot induced oscillation. Not seeing anything on there. Oh. So this is MrsEggmotor. Some people might find this a little bit. Be careful if you're of. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. Let me watch it, see what. Easy, easy. Yeah. It's the geezer's reaction. It's the geezer's reaction. I'm sure he's all right. I'm sure he survived and made it through whatever medical things that he had to do. But it's the geezer's comment. It's the geezer doing the filming. Listen to the fellas. Listen to the fella. Jilly, listen. Obviously from Yorkshire.
No, no wind just yet. There's a way. Nice one. Oh heck.
Oh heck. He's got mind that. Yes. Anyway, I'm sure he's all right. And MrsEggmotor, thank you for putting that up. Yeah, not seeing anything really with oscillation here. Oh, yes, Chili. Funny enough, Bosch A350 hard landing. Here we go. Here we go. This is a little bit of oscillation. What we're talking about basically is when an aircraft gets into one of those where you're like, and obviously that 777 with the windscreen wiper, blah blah blah. He sort of like was like, right, that's it, I've had enough. Bang. He's kind of like got himself out of something that could have gone badly wrong. But hey, look what's behind this 350. Look what's behind this 350, folks. Hold on. There, see it? I think it's really mode. I don't know. Yeah. When we pay or it's just literally got. And yet no.
Oh, easy. Oh, my flipping heck. Wow.
Fair play for keeping it on the ground.
I'm surprised that's not touch and go, mate.
I would have thought that would probably be. I thought that would probably be a go around if that had have been British Airways. I'm pretty sure of it. But anyway, there we go. So that's that part dealt with. Yeah. A little sort of like another Boeing story in it. Boeing quality investigator claims faulty parts have been used repeatedly to produce planes faster. I think that's quite an old story, to be honest with you, about Boeing. And you know what? It has happened throughout the spares industry as well. You know, I remember a long time ago, there was a 747, BA 747, that a part got taken off and or it was going through to be fitted to the aircraft, and they checked the authenticity of it, obviously, because every single part, nut and bolt, every single screw, everything has literally a paper trail to it. So where it started out life as, if it's gone through the system, whether it's been modified or whatever's been done to it. And these guys obviously picked it up at British Airways. So, but kind of what these guys are saying, these whistleblowers at Boeing, about rudder parts or rudders themselves, that they literally paint them red, all the parts, and they get put in behind lock and key into a room, and they don't get touched. And apparently, some of it's gone missing. But it doesn't mention here, what if they've had a clear out and taken it down the recycling plant? You didn't say anything about that, did you? So I'm a little bit dubious about that whole whistleblower thing, blah, blah, blah. Air India doing big things this week, ordering lots and lots of planes. Obviously, their deal with Vistara, their merger with Vistara means that they can add much longer routes and bigger routes, high density routes with the Vistara 787s and Airbus jets as well, for 320 Neos as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on with Air India at the moment, ordering big amounts of aircraft. I did mention that there's a possibility, because there's a 7-year waiting list, folks, if you're lucky, with new aircraft these days. So maybe Air India are just getting in there quick with Boeing and with Airbus, and in 5 years' time, they'll make their decision. Oh, we're not going to have them, we're going to have them, or whichever comes first, if you see what I mean. PIA, yes. Let's just have a little look here. PIA. 777 return to Heathrow. And they're thinking that this might be as early, folks, as this might be, January. Did you say January there? Yeah. As early as that, man. I mean, and that's really good. And look, third one across is PIA coming over the roofs of Hatton Cross and Myrtle. So Simple Flying talking about it. But yeah, lots of stuff going on about Pakistan International Airlines returning to London Heathrow, which will be great. It's another 777, which we'll look forward to doing that. And when it does happen, we will be there, folks. We will definitely be at Heathrow to cover that wherever we might be. We will not likely be airside, but we will be in a good location to get a good look at them. And we will welcome them back, man, because obviously now PIA have had a complete shuffle with their entire staffing and certainly their air crew, because mainly the reason why Pakistan International Airlines was banned from flying in Europe was because there were lots of counts of pilots having false documentation, not actually being pilots, or falsifying hours and stuff like that, which is pretty bad, I have to say, pretty bad and a little bit frightening. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard PIA. I'm going to be taking. Where are we going? What's this button do? Oh, I'm still on the intercom, am I? Oh, sorry. FAA calls for more frequent 757 inspections for cracks in the upper frame. That's not really all that good, is it? Basically, most of those relate actually to 757-200s and mainly as well to cargo aircraft as well. Inspection. Let's see what comes up there. Yeah, we go. Simple flying again, talking about it. They're saying the FAA administration has finalised its airworthiness directive for certain 757-200, 200CB and 200PF following a crack growth analysis of the upper frame. So basically, you've got your frame assembly and you've got your ribs as well that run through the aircraft. So they run through it, and you've got the framework itself, and that framework at the very top, they're talking about, and I think it's numbers. Is it 40? It was the. Yeah, it's quite a long way down. Oh, yeah, 13 to 14. So basically, you count back 13 or 14. I think that's around about the wing spar area. So obviously, you get FedEx, DHL, Delta as well are going to be subject to that as well. I don't think that United have got 757-200s as well, haven't they? Look at that lovely old NYC Aviation FAA to order 757 fuselage inspections after. Okay, so that was I don't know when that was, but yeah, not good news, not the best news in the world, but anyway, it is what it is, and they will no doubt deal with that. There are other directives that are going on at the moment with 777s, with Dreamliners. Not for the same thing, but for like undercarriage links and stuff like that. So there's a lot of directives that we're hearing about now. I think it's more out in the ether now because of the fact that all the safety stuff that's been going on in the aviation industry over the last couple of years. It's sort of like now they sort of like make a big thing of it. And also, let's give Boeing some props here, because Boeing are responsible for informing the FAA of issues that they have found on some of their aircraft. So Boeing have reported that to the FAA. It's not all the FAA's work. So let's give them a little bit of love in terms of that. What's this one here? First Trent 1000 arrives at Rolls-Royce German site for overhaul. Rolls-Royce German facility, Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 overhaul. Let's just have a look and see if we've got anything in there, which is pretty damn cool. Love all of that, man. Look at those beautiful engines. But of course, folks, remember that the Trent 1000 is, I think, that the Gen X engine, the GE NX engine, I think that might be carbon bladed. Let's just have a little look and see. GENX fan blade. Bosch. Yeah, you see, they are carbon. So unlike the Trent engine, which is titanium, blown titanium, the Gen X, because it's General Electric and they are really clued up on carbon technology. They've carried that across and used that from the GE90. Of course, they're not going to switch back to titanium, to alloy, are they? They're going to keep on with. Look at the beautiful engine there, man. Look at the fan blade there. Look at the leading edge. That's a titanium leading edge to break ice up, basically. But the form of that blade is just absolutely beautiful. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to quickly have a look at this and see if we've got Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 engine overhaul. I don't know as we're going to get a lot of that. Rolls-Royce, how we assemble the Trent XWB, the world's most efficient. 3 minutes and 24 seconds. We could probably have a little look at that, shall we? It's worthy of. I think that's worthy because it's a Rolls-Royce, you know. Little barfly. What's that all about? Okay, here we go. Clean. Was it? Wow, look at that. Now you see here, folks, just to show you, they take the engine, the modules, as they call them, and they turn them on their lengthways upwards like that vertically, so they can assemble all the modules, the back end, the midsection, the combustor, all of those sections get, and they've got the engine. They have holes in the floor, literally, where they have rams which allow the engine to move up and down. It's pretty damn cool, man. That was part of the gearbox. So at this stage, oh, here we go, look. Right, there you go. There's the whatever turbine or whatever part of the engine. Kind of looks like, as it's going that way, it kind of looks like maybe the low pressure compressor or something, or high pressure compressor or something like that. I don't know. That may be the bit before the compressor goes in. But as you can see there, they're attaching that. Then, oh, here we go. Look. Okay, so this is the low pressure, I think. Look at that. Let's see. Oh yeah, man. The front end of the engine. Look at that. Look at that. That's good. There we go. Wow. So there's the spool, or the axle, as a lot of people would like to say. So precise, man. Look at that. So that's the hot end of the engine, the back end of the engine there. And that's now going to be, oh wow, look at that. Look how thick that shaft is, mate. On your fingers, son. Isn't that beautiful? Oh yeah. Fan blade assembly coming in here now. Wow. Wow, look at that. I mean, that's like a rocket engine, isn't it, really? Look at that. Now the fan assembly's on. It can be turned on. And now we're going to see. Now watch this, folks. You're going to be amazed how quickly they put well, not how quickly they put these blades. That big red thing is obviously a cover to protect the fan blade assembly. But that's the stator blades behind it. They're static blades. Now they're going to attach the main fan blades to the spline. Look at the see the hub assembly there. Oh, they've already done it. Oh no, they've already attached it to the fan hub assembly. Okay, so they're fair enough. They didn't show that bit then. Yeah. Now that they're attaching there is for the engine test cell. It's not the normal. Yeah, look at that. Fire it up. Oh. I wish that companies like this would do something a little bit more, you know, hardcore. This is great for education. And that's how we see them when they rock up at Heathrow, man. That's how we see them. Look at that, back of a low loader. There we go. Isn't that brilliant, man? And off it goes to wherever it's going to be. That wasn't really an overhaul. That was a full-on build, wasn't it? Although it has to be said that that was a brand new engine. You could tell from that. But the what's this here? Rolls-Royce Trent production of turbojet engines, automotive garage, Rolls-Royce Trent general civil aerospace production. 5-minute 22. Let's... Okay. Yeah, that's kind of like a... Okay. Well, let's run this one, shall we? I quite like the idea of this one. Blimey, it's 9 o'clock. Flipping it, people going sleepy nannies. Right, we'll run this. Look at the just the tolerances. Look at, here we go. Look at that. That's the combustor blades, or I don't know. It might be the. Yes, I think that's the combustor. Oh, sorry, the compressor blades. Look how it goes. Starts off big and then goes down small. So that's what we're talking about, like 6-stage, 3-stage, 5-stage, whatever it might be. The music. That's on here, isn't it? No, it's horrible. Has that stopped? Okay, there we go. Hello. Wow, look at that. Is John in? Oh, he's not here today. Wow, look at the tolerances, man. That's a small engine, folks. Look at that. Just checking for any blade damage. So this is obviously an overhaul, an MRO station where they are overhauling engines. So they're just checking tolerances. They're a bit like your wheel on your tire, on your bike, checking that it's straight, you know, because that's critical. So here again, you can see the assembly stages. And when they take them apart for overhaul, oh, this is the boroscope inspection here, folks. So he's using the boroscope. This is something that they can do inside the facilities at most of the airports. The engine test facilities, they have boroscope capabilities. They're able to go up to a certain degree in terms of engine overhaul. They don't really do engine overhaul. They'll maybe fit, you know, components that are fittable on wing. You know, new pumps, auxiliary pumps, electrical units, all that kind of stuff. But it's quite an impressive thing to see. We did it at General Electric, and we never really put it out, did we, Jilly? We just used the test, which is a little bit of a shame. The engine from the engine test cell, which is pretty cool. That's looking inside the engines. Inside the engine, sorry. Okay, is that, I think, maybe... Oh, there we go, borescope. So you can see what's going on there, and they can inspect all of the blades that are in there, and there are a lot of them. Engine management unit, I think. That's part of the, obviously, very important. And there we go, all the statistics. That stuff gets beamed down to operation centers around the world, which is really impressive. So whilst you're flying, oh, can I just show you there, folks? Stand by. I just want to show you there. I just want to show you that. Right. Now, see those? Can they see my cursor? Yeah, Jilly, my mouse, my cursor. See the two big thrust links there? Those thrust links there. That's the what General Electric have been having trouble with on the GE9X engine, where they have failed, which basically is like a kind of like, well, it's a thrust link basically to stop the engine from twisting and moving. And here comes more borescope inspections going on there. So you're able to look right down inside the combustor and see what's going on inside there. The hot part of the engine. Oh, look. Yeah, there's the inspection. There we go, look. Deposit location selected. Now, do they ever clean it? Oh, they do. Wow. Interesting. Able to do an on-wing. Wow. Heat treatment and cleanup. Okay, fair enough. Deposition. Nice. Haven't got through to the hot end of the engine just yet. We're still at the high pressure compressor stage, or the okay, more inspections going on. Oh, hello. What's going on here? What? Oi! Oh my goodness me! No, they don't really use this, do they? Do they use this? Deployed bots. Steve, Harry, Jim, another Steve, Bob, and Cyril. Come on, fellas. Back you come. Oh, that was nice, wasn't it? Yeah. I come up on the backside there. We got any crumpets for tonight? I don't know. I don't know if that's real or I don't know. I just don't know. Caught me out there. But anyway, let's just have a look here. Another one about the Pratt and Whitney engine, the GTF Advantage engine, on track for certification after securing FAA go-around thrust approval, which is quite interesting. So basically, they've had FAA certification for, or getting close to it, for go-around thrust input, which see all these different parameters they have to work with in order to get an aircraft slash engine approved, because obviously it's bolted to the Airbus 321 long range, extra long range, I think that is what it's for. And that is also the engine feature updates which reduce thrust for go-around operations, but the manufacturer acknowledges that an unintended consequence of this modification is an inability to comply strictly with thrust requirements following a bird strike. So in other words, the climb out. If they get a bird strike, they have to follow all those parameters to be able to climb safely out. So that really, folks. One last little thing that I wanted to talk about. What's that? Yeah, do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I know it's not the first time I've seen it. It was a long time ago I saw it, but it wasn't that, I don't think. But they do actually use, yeah, they actually do use them, man. But just quickly to finish off, folks, here. Wait a minute. To finish off here, we were talking earlier in the week on the show about open fan technology, which is, as you can see here from these images, an engine that you normally would see with no cowlings on it. So the thrust is all given by the main fan blade at the front. So this is new technology, which will still, I'd imagine, use fossil fuels for now, but they are in the stages where they're going to be starting to fit these two aircraft. As you can see there, it looks quite feeble, doesn't it, on the A380? But trust me, I thought that they were going to fit one to the top and to the side, but that might have changed. But as you can see there, the open fan technology is something